What up, friends? How are you doing? I look like shite right here, but I don't really care because I'm sad. I'm so sad. This is me without makeup. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. My hair's fluffy from my night shower. All right, friends. How are you doing? Okay. Good morning. How are you? Happy Sunday. Excuse me. I'm disgusting. He's gone. My man's gone. He went on this trip to go to his son's wedding, and I was like, the last minute, I was like, I want to go. I want to go with you. Don't leave me here with these people. My kids. Just kidding. He's gone. So he left this morning. He took his flight. He'll be gone for a week. Well, almost a week. He'll be back on Friday. Practically a week. Okay. So he gone. Like Francis. Daddy gone. Little Lex and Lee's friends. Okay, so I'm pretty sad. I saw him last night. We chilled here at the house. And we went to Sonic and we just hung out. He bought us ice cream and it was fun. So anywho, there's that. I wanted to talk about the demise of marriages, or when you're in a long-term relationship, what is it that would have somebody walk away from a long term marriage or relationship? I'll speak from my own personal experience because I can, But for example, I believe the root of the problems that I had in my last relationship with Chris, we were together for 9 years. We're almost together for 10 years, right? But the demise of our relationship, I believe, is it became routine. Like there's nothing spontaneous about us anymore. When we were first together, it was completely different. You know, I was like a wild card for Chris. Chris had options, but for some reason, Chris chose me, and I still to this day I don't understand it because I'm very complex, and Chris is very by the like straight and narrow, like very like totally different. Like I was wild, like compared to Chris. Okay, believe it or not, I have calmed down a lot. I'm not as crazy as it was back then. And actually, I'm a lot calmer now since the end of our relationship. But my marriage, when I was married, I was married once to Carlos, and my marriage to him is because I think it failed because it became routine. Actually, I'm friends with him now again, so I should ask him like 10 questions about me and see what he says, because it's funny because I talked to him and I hadn't talked to him in, I mean, we hadn't talked basically the duration of my last relationship, because it was kind of like a problem with my ex. My ex didn't like me talking to my ex-husband. So, I allowed that to end our friendship because we did have a friendship. We're actually really good friends. We're like best friends. Like he would tell me his problems, I would tell, like we would congregate, on situations as single people. So it took us a long time to get there though. But so I apologize for that and stuff. But I think in our marriage, I think what happened was it became routine. And, when you have a baby, you're a first time parent, I was, I'm very, you know, with my kids, I'm very helicopter parent. And I think I paid more attention to her than him. And, he just couldn't, there has to be a balance, you know what I mean? And I think I failed in that department, because I'm just like that as a parent. I think my second, so it just became routine basically. Nothing like we could never go out on dates because I never had a sitter, so we never had like our alone time. You know what I mean? So, and then with Chris, it was the same thing. Like it became routine. It just became just about, but it wasn't. I don't know. And then it was also COVID, and we're like trapped at home all the time. There's a lot of relationships that didn't, make it past that. So that's why I wasn't being fulfilled in certain areas. So I think the roles reversed. Like it was me in my marriage, and then in this one it just became very routine. That's why when we broke up I was like, I just don't want to schedule, I don't want to go by any, like I just want to free ball it. I just want to not free ball it, freestyle it, and I just want to just do whatever whenever I want, and that's it. And because it just became very routine. And I didn't want, it was just, we were together, and then we were kind of together, we weren't together. Like, we weren't doing things a couple did, okay? None of that was happening, okay? And so I kept bringing this up, okay? It's not like I didn't say anything to anybody. Like, it was known that I wasn't, there was nothing, like we're already breaking down as a couple, okay? And I think if you're in a long-term relationship, it's very important because things can get routine, things can be like repetitive, things can be like, so it's you have to relive like the spontaneous part of your relationship. I think when you're later down the road in the years, just to keep it interesting, because it can get boring. It can get like, because you're with this person all the time. You're always with them. Like, and when I was young, I used to think in my mind like, when I was married, because I took my vows seriously. I don't. He was on another page. We're on different pages when it came to marriage. Okay, like I was willing to suffer and just stay married. Because I didn't believe in divorce back then. So it was like I was willing to suffer with him for the rest of my life. Okay, even though I would, and I wasn't happy either. I just didn't say anything. I just go along with it. Like, this is my husband. That he's mine. They're like, what is that one that that meme or whatever, the one that goes, "That's your man. That's the man." Look at the screen. I'm gonna stick beside you. That was me. That was me in my marriage. Like, I was gonna stay married like forever, but you can't force anybody to stay with you. So he didn't like being married to me. So he ended up getting a divorce because he wanted to play the field, and he did try to get back with me a couple years later, but I was like, no, like, now that you've done fucked everybody, now now you want to come to me, now you want this, which I actually, honestly, I think I should have been more open-minded with that, instead of just being like, no, you were with everybody and now you want me, because I hadn't slept with anybody since, it took me a long time to sleep with anybody after that relationship. And so I was still intact, okay? He wasn't, okay? So so I was young, I was immature, and I'm just a very possessive person over people. I am. I'm very like, you are mine, okay? So so that ended, but I think I should have been more open-minded to it, since we were still technically married when he was trying to get back with me. But I wasn't. If I was in a long-term relationship, like years, like we had 20 years, I think those relationships are worth holding on to. Like, maybe you're just going through a rough patch somewhere, and maybe it can be fixed, because, you know, thinking of just being single and being away from your family that you built, your life that you built, can sound very enticing. It really can. But if you can hold on to that relationship, I would hold on to it. Now I know what you're saying. Why didn't you stay with your ex, Chris? Because I mentioned all of these things that I had issues with, and no change happened. Like nothing. No change at all happened. Okay. So it takes two people wanting to change to make a relationship work. And I was the only one, I feel. Now, if you ask her, she might say something completely different because this is my version of events. Okay. And there's no hate towards her or anything like that. It just wasn't working anymore because I wanted to change a lot of things about our life at that time because we were very toxic people together. We both went through almost the same things in life, you know, and the way people carry that with them later on in life, we're carrying it differently. Okay, I wasn't going to dwell on things or people that rejected me in life. I don't do that. I use those things to move on and live a happier life. You learn lessons from them and you move on. You don't dwell on it. And everybody's been through something. If you really think about it, we've all been through things. You know what I mean? We've all been through tragedy. We've all been through a heartbreak. We've all been through that. So why should we take it out on other people? You know, when you go to a restaurant or you have a cashier and they're a bitch to you, like you don't know what that person's going through. And I'm not the type of person to wear what has happened to me on me. You would have a lot of people have no idea. And honestly, when I tell people what I've been through, they don't really believe me because I don't give off that vibe. Like if I had something done to me or anything like that, I don't like to I don't like people to know, okay? And it's not that I'm hiding it or anything like that. It's just I choose not to pass on that negativity or anything like that because especially here on the internet, you know, like whatever you post here is here forever, you know. And I do regret how I reacted when we broke up. I regret that, you know, till this day, but I can never take it back. I can never take back the things that I said, but it had been so many years that I was accumulating everything that happened that I didn't even once like that bottle was open. It was I just couldn't stop like because I never told anybody what I went through. Never told my family. I never told anybody because I didn't want anybody to judge her because of that because I chose to be there. So that I feel like that was my choice to do as well, you know, because we're all at our own free will. We don't have to be with anybody we don't want to be with, okay? If you're in a situation, you're in there. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cry. When you're in a relationship, it's your choice to be there. If you want change and you don't want to be there anymore, then you have to let it go, and that was hard for me, and that's why I stayed for a very long time because I didn't know if I could do it emotionally. Because even though it was a lot for me, even though like it wasn't working out, it's you still have to get over the hurt, you know, even though things got really bad at the end, you still have to there's still a healing process from anything you let go of, you know. So yeah. So if you're in a long-term relationship, I think I feel I don't know your situation. Every situation is different. You know better than me. But if it's a long-term relationship, you've built a life with somebody, try to work it out. Like don't try to leave just because maybe somebody's enticing you or you know, like just try, you know. Or if it's over because you'll know yourself it's over, then do it, but don't do it dramatically. Try to end things cordial. That's what I tried to do in my last relationship. What happened? That's what I tried to do. I thought that's what we agreed, but I guess we're on two different pages there, huh? And like I said, I never said anything to anybody. I kept everything internal. And it's good to talk about it with somebody. If you have like a family member or somebody that you trust, and you just want to talk about it and just say, look, this is what I went through in this relationship. This is why. No, and nobody else has to know. Nobody has to know what happened in that relationship. Don't be like me and air it out on the internet. Just keep it between, because you have to talk about it. Or if you see a therapist, tell a therapist, because you have to let it out. You can't just keep that inside, because you're going to get sick. You're going to get yourself sick. You're going to, a lot of things happen when you internalize everything. I know that because I did that for so long, you know. But if it's worth working out, work it out. Maybe see a couples counselor or something like that, because I think it's very important for the children, But that was my thing too. So don't take advice from me. That was my thing too. That's why I stayed longer, is because of my son, I felt like I should keep the family together. That was very important to me. And I feel that's why certain things were done to me, because they knew that about me, that I would want to keep the family together no matter what. Okay. So anyways, that's just my opinions on that. But I know it can get boring sometimes, but do something spontaneous, like go have sex somewhere in public and don't get caught. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there, and don't blame me if you get in trouble, okay? Because I didn't say nothing, okay? But anyways, that's just a thought I had, because I hear that a lot. Like, when you're in your 40s, you're no longer interested in your wife or your husband, and everything they do annoys you. But like, try to relive whatever it was that made you fall in love with this person. Because I'm pretty sure it's still there. They're still the same person. And then also communicate and say, what is wrong with you? Why are you boring now? Like you weren't boring before. It's good to communicate, because maybe they're thinking the same thing about you, and here you are thinking the same thing about them, and y'all can talk it out. Like, there's nothing wrong with talking things out with people and trying to reconcile or not. It's up to you, but whatever makes you happy, and your happiness is what we're chasing, right? This is what we're here to live our best life, best versions of ourselves, and we're here to be happy. Okay. Anyways, I'll let you go. I'm gonna put some makeup on. Oh, guess what, guys? Guess what happened last night when my boo thing was here? He finally fixed the light in my kitchen. I was like, so I got you here. Can you just get up there real quick? But I have the wrong light bulbs. They're yellow light bulbs. I'm like, so I have to go to Home Depot today. That's what's on the agenda today. Home Depot, duck pond, and laundry. Get ready for tomorrow. Anyways, y'all have a good Sunday. I'll be checking in here and there, okay? Bye-bye.